Welcome back guys, hope you're all doing great, and today in this video I'm going to show you how to create this nice responsive UI just by using plain HTML and CSS along with the Tailwind CSS. And in this video I'm going to show you how to configure the Tailwind CSS with the plain HTML and CSS project and how to create this nice UI. Okay, and this is the complete responsive site. This is how it looks in the full screen, and if you're making it to the small screen, this is how it looks in the medium devices, and of course this is how it looks in the mobile screen. All right, so that's looking good. All right, so in this video I'm going to show you completely from the ground how to build a project, basic HTML and CSS project, and how to configure the Tailwind CSS, and I'm going to show you how to use the Tailwind CSS to create this nice UI. So without wasting your time, so let's get started. Okay then, so before getting started, so first of all we need the Node.js. So open your browser. Let me bring it to my screen. Okay, over here. So go ahead and download the Node.js first. So we need the Node.js to initialize the project. So go ahead, click the Node.js and click the recommended version of the most users. So don't download the latest current version, download the recommended version over here. So I do already install the Node.js in my machine, so let me close it, and here I'm just going to create a new folder. Create new folder. I'm just going to say modern UI. All right, okay, I already downloaded all the necessary images, files, everything which is needed for this the build, and I dropped the link in the description box so that you can go and download that images which is necessary for this build. All right, so let me open this code in the Visual Studio Code. All right, so let me open this folder, and it is in my another screen. Okay, here we go. So now we have a blank project, and we are going to create everything completely from the ground. So let me open my terminal, and here I'm just going to say yarn init. Basically we are initializing our package.json so that we can download the Tailwind CSS and we can run with our plain HTML and JavaScript project. Okay, in this we are not going to create a React or Next. We are just going to use the plain HTML project. So open it. So now it's asking give a name of your package. I'm just going to use the same name, enter, same version, no description. Entry point, of course it's going to be index.js, and no author, I'm just going to type my name, and then license, of course empty, private empty, and here we go. So now we do have our package.json. all right, so let me bring one more. Let's open the Google Chrome and let me bring it here. All right, so let me create one more desktop, keep it this side, okay, and put the Google Chrome over there. Fine. So now what we need to do is let's open the Tailwind CSS, tailwindcss.com. So Tailwind is like it's a CSS framework which is really user friendly and highly powerful. Okay, so if you're using a Tailwind for first time, no worries, I'm gonna help you to understand the Tailwind CSS much easier and better way. Okay, so here we are going to install the Tailwind CSS just like this way. If you are using npm, that's fine, but yarn is much better when instead of using npm. Okay, so if you don't know how to install the yarn, so just you have to run npm install -g yarn. That's all you have to do. So the command which you have to use is, this is the command, you have to install it in your machine first. So you have to run npm install, oh not rpm, npm install a command npm, it's changing automatically, npm install -g yarn. This is the command you have to run in your machine globally, so that will install the latest version of the yarn. Then when instead of npm, you can use the yarn every single time. Okay, so let's go here, let's go to our terminal, cls, sorry, clear. So yarn add we are going to use the Tailwind CSS. So this is the one, you have to copy it. If you're using npm, you need to use install. If you're using yarn, you need to type yarn add. So let's install the Tailwind CSS. So this might take a while, so sit tight until it gets done. Okay, so now for me it's already downloaded, and let me clear the screen, and let's go ahead and process and look at the second step of our. So next what we need to do is we have to initialize our Tailwind CSS. So copy this and run the command yarn initialize yarn tailwind init. So that will create the tailwind config.js. So inside this tailwind config.js only we are going to configure all our necessary files and everything. So here I need to create two different folders for my project. So first one, so click here in the outside and right click in the root directory and create a new folder called public, and right click again in the root directory over here and create a new folder called src. Okay, so inside this public folder, that is our build pro folder, which is going to be deployed in our web hosting. Okay, so here inside this public folder, so click the public folder, right click and create a new folder called css, and right click new folder called js, and right click the public folder again and create a new folder called images, and right click the public folder one more time and create a new file called index.html. All right, so now we do have our html, and inside this source folder I'm going to create a new file that you can see. If you go through here, we have to update this location, so where this Tailwind configuration should look for our HTML and JavaScript files. So that should look inside our public.html. So go here. What I need to do is just you have to copy from this star, the last part, just from the star, copy it, and I'm going to make here the content as /public. Go inside the public folder because this is the root directory. From the root directory go to the public folder because tailwind configuration.js is in our root directory. So /public/ paste it. Go inside the public folder and find all the HTML and JS and apply this Tailwind config in that HTML and JS file. So that's what this is mentioning over here. Okay, and right after here, now what we need to do is we need to create a source folder. We already did, and inside the source folder we need to have the input.css file. It's not necessary, you can give a different file name also, but you have to update it in this command. So keep it the same line. So inside this source folder I'm going to create input.css, and inside the input.css I'm just going to copy this and I'm going to paste it, all those commands, necessary commands, paste it, and right, I'm going to paste this one also. And next what I need to do is I need to run this command. So every single time whenever you are running this project, this command need to be active. You need to run this command first, then only you need to run your project. Okay, so every time I can't type this entire command by come here and copying it and pasting it. So the easiest way is to configure this command in our package.json. So go here, open up your package.json, and right after this license, search for scripts, type the scripts. So that will create this object. Inside this scripts object, I'm just going to create a new command called watch. This is a watch, and inside this double quotes I'm going to copy and paste this command. So copy this and paste it over here, not like this. I'm just going to say yarn tailwind css initialize from the source folder input.css. That means initialize this input.css and generate the output inside the public folder. Inside the public folder I do have the css folder. Go to the css folder and create a style in the name called styles.css. So that will auto generate the file called styles.css. So whenever you're running your tailwind, so if you're making any changes in your HTML file using tailwind.css, so this will constantly checking those changes and it will generate the CSS file, corresponding CSS file, and it put it into your styles.css. All right, that's what this command is mentioned here. All right, so we finish that, and right, like look at that, all we have to import that style sheet, then we can write the our CSS style. So let's go ahead and run this command. So to run this, if you are using the npm, all you have to say npm run watch. If you are using yarn, all I have to say, clear npm run watch. This is what you need to say. If you are using yarn, all you have to say yarn watch. That's it. So if I press enter, so now you can see that it start listening, it's responding. So you should not close this terminal, or you should not stop this, because it's constantly watching our changes in our HTML file. And if you go to your CSS folder, now you can see the styles.css, and all these CSS are auto generated just because of the command. Look at that. All right, so next, the most important step is you have to install your Tailwind extension plugin. So what you have to do is close everything, close this, we're not necessary, close it, and go to this, and here make sure that you already install the Tailwind CSS extension, because that helps you to write the Tailwind much faster. Okay, so this is the one. So use this Tailwind CSS IntelliSense, so that will help you to write the Tailwind class CSS classes much faster. And of course we need one more thing, that is the live server. Search for live server to run our HTML file in a local host. So click install, so that will install it in our Visual Studio Code. All right, so now it's installed. So let me close this and let me go to the extensions. All right, so now let me click our index.html. So type this exclamation symbol over here, exclamation symbol. So and press tab. That will build the boilerplate code which is necessary for our HTML. All right, so the title, I'm just going to say beats promotion or something. All right, and the link over here, /css styles.css. Save the changes. So now our styles.css is loaded. So let's make sure whether everything is up and running fine or not. So I'm just going to say h1, and of course I'm going to say hello world. Save changes. And class name, so I'm going to change the text background color, so text bg, the text color is going to be bg blue. So this is the reason we installed the Tailwind CSS extension. Okay, so text blue 800. So text means basically we are changing the color of the text. So blue 800 is the color code. And over here I'm just going to say font semi bold. Okay, and text XL, basically you can see the text XL is around 1.25 rem, that means the 20 pixels. Right, so save the changes and let's run this in the live server. So right click it and click, you can see the open with live server, so click this, so that will open this thing in the live server. All right, so let me copy this and let me bring it here, paste it here. Wait a second, so it is not up and running. So our Tailwind CSS is not working. We did everything, styles.css, it's generated and the command is up and running. All right. It's why it's not loading over here then. Right click, inspect the elements, network, console, there is no mistakes. If you click the network, thing will be loaded. Why it's not showing up over here? What's the reason it's not working? We did everything as it's supposed to be. So in the tailwind config.js, public folder dot slash public slash star, everything is fine. Public here also it's fine. This is also fine. Then what's the mistake we made? Did we miss anything? No, no, no. We did everything as it's supposed to be. Let me check. Class bg black. Save changes. Refresh it. It's not happening. Something is missing. Double check the content. I think it's a problem with our content over here. Some my bad. See, that is, I missed this. Open and closing brackets is not closed properly. That's the thing. I missed this closing bracket. So please be very sure, guys. This is a problem because we are not, it will not throw any error or anything. The only problem over here is I just missed this closing bracket. That's the reason it was not working. So save the changes. Now it's rebuilding. It's done. Let's go here and check. Look at that. So our Tailwind CSS, it's working now. Fine. So here now all I have to do is to go here. I don't want this BG black color or anything. So close it. Save the changes. So now you can see it's working up and running fine. So let me bring this tab to my second desktop itself over here, and I'll keep it in the right side so that we can design for the mobile screen first, and I'll keep this in the left side. All right then. Good. So let me close this. So let it up and run. So here also let's delete this. All right. So here I do have this images for, I drop this link in the description. So copy this, everything, and then we have to drop this inside our images folder. Okay, so now I have all the images which is necessary for our project. Okay, so first what I had to do is I have to bring our hero section. So let's bring our hero section. So first we are going to bring the hero image. I'm going to load the hero image, not here, hero image. So before going to do that, let's open my index.css. I'm going to add some common style over here. I'm going to say margin. Basically we are trying to remove all the margins from here. So margin 0, padding 0, and we are entirely making it as a box sizing, as a box model. We are trying to make it as a box model so that the entire screen will be assumed as a box. So inside here you can use the positions much better. That's the reason we are changing this to box model. And the body tag. All right, so body tag, this is going to be, let's say width, I'm going to say 100 VH, and the height I'm going to say, not height alone, minimum height, I'm just going to say minimum height, I'm going to say 100 VH, and the background color I'm going to say hash FB. All right, then font family, I'm going to say, I'm going to use the Poppins and sans serif. Still we don't imported this Poppins package, so you can go to your browser and search for Google Fonts and search for Poppins. Otherwise click the extension and search for Google Fonts, this one, Google Fonts. This is the package. So go ahead and download this Google Fonts. All you have to do is to press Control Shift P or Command Shift P and search for Google Fonts CSS import. Once you press enter, that will, you can search for that font which you're trying to import. So click it, that will import that import URL over there. Then all I have to do is to import that package name over here, Poppins. So make sure that's spelled perfectly. So save the changes, and I think it's already reloaded. If sometimes it will not, it will take some time to rebuild it, so please wait. And at that time, if you refresh it, you can see the changes. Okay, so because every time it's rebuilding the entire CSS, so sometime it will take a little time to make show that changes in your screen. At the time, just refresh it. So image tag, so dot slash from the image folder, I'm just going to bring the hero.jpg. So save the changes. So now that will bring our hero.jpg. All I have to do is make sure this is perfectly fit completely in our the entire screen. Okay, so I'm just going to say class absolute. So you can use the absolute position because by default this is by default our body class is a relative. So when you're using the absolute position, it's always look for the parent element. In this case, I didn't wrap this entire hero image in a division tag, so it is in an open inside a body tag. So it always looks for a parent element as its body tag. So this body tag is the parent element, and by default body is the relative element. Okay, so whenever you're using absolute position, so you should wrap it inside a division, and that division should be a relative. Then only inside that relative position you can move wherever you want. Okay, so absolute, and I'm just going to say insert 0, and then width, of course it's going to be full. Instead of insert 0, I can say top 0, and I'm going to pin it in the right side also, top right. Width full, height full, and I'm going basically full in the sense 100%. It's referring to our body height. Our body height is going to minimum width as 100 viewport screen, and height minimum height as viewport height. Okay, and of course object is going to cover the entire screen. So save the changes, and now you can see that image is covering the entire screen. All right, so let's go ahead and build the header tag. So I'm just going to build the header. So try to use the maximum the optimized tags for the respective elements. So header, of course we know that is a header, so that will helps you for whenever you are using for search engine optimization. Okay, so header tag over here. So now inside this header, I'm just going to bring a logo, so image, and that is going to be dot slash css dot slash image slash logo. Say the changes. So that will brings the logo. All right, so where it is. Okay, so it is behind this. This is covering our logo. So what I need to do is I need to push this behind. So minus Z10. So save the changes, and now you can see our logo over here. Okay, that's quite big. We can customize it, no issues. So I'm just going to say class name. I'm going to reduce the width 12. So I think that is pretty much enough for our logo over here. All right, so then what we need to do is I need to bring a navigation bar, a nav bar. Inside the nav bar, I'm just going to say li tag and an anchor tag. This is going to be hash, and inside this anchor tag, I'm just going to say home. All right, and I'm just going to copy this, paste it, and this is going to be products. This is going to be services, and you can say contact or something else. So you can use your the respective menu names over here. All right, so I'm pretty much done with the menu now. You can see that we have the menu, and right after here I need to bring a menu icon. So for menu icon, I'm going to use the what happened. So let me create a new tab and bring it separately, put it in that desktop. Okay, so here I'm just going to use the box icons. We are going to use the box icons. So search for box icons, so you can find some materialized UI icons over here. So here click the GitHub, that will take you to their official GitHub, and you can find this link tag. If you scroll down, you can find the CDN link, content delivery network. So copy this line from here, copy it, and then paste it right after your So I'm just giving a comment line. So wherever it is possible, just try to give a comment line that will help you in the future. Box icons, CDN link, paste it, and then let's arrange this. Fine, cool. All right, so always paste your local CSS file at the top and paste the CDN files later, because so first initial our style should be loaded properly. Okay, that's the reason we are giving it over there. So if in some cases, if your CDN files, it's taking some times to load, then it will affect our file also to getting loaded. So that's we don't want to do. Then I'll just go here. I'm going to search for a menu icon. I'm going to use this menu icon. Once you click it, that will opens this pop-up. So choose the font and click here. It will be copied, and right after this nav, paste it, save the changes. All right, now you can see the icon over here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, instead of customizing the same navigation for bar as a 2 times, I'm just going to copy it. This is going to be for our mobile navigation, and this is for medium device navigation. Right, I'm going to paste it one more time. Fine. Okay, now you can see the same menu 2 times, but I'm going to hide this class. So initially it is going to be hidden. That means the display none. Initially we are going to hide it, but from the medium device, once the medium device is starting, at that point it should be displayed. I'm going to give the flex. Okay, but here I'm going to do the same thing. Class, it's going to be flex, but from the medium device, at the point when it's starting the medium device, I'm just going to say it as hidden. So let's see. So now we can see it's showing the as a flex over here, and that menu is, this medium device menu is gone. Now if I'm expanding this, okay, still it's be displayed over here because we given the direction, because here we given it as a flex. So let me change this to flex column. So let's see, flex column, and now we can see that. So I didn't mention for mobile navigation, I just given it as a flex. Okay, for the medium device it's a flex column. Now if I expand it, once the medium device is started, you can see it's changed. Okay, so that's how you have to create a responsive style. So because we don't want to complex every single style in the same navigation bar, that will really complex for a beginner. It will more complex to follow up. That's the reason I just keep it as a separate for medium device separately, for mobile device separately. All right, so here I'm just going to keep it as a flex column itself. So right after here, I'm just going to say flex column, and items everything in the center, and justify everything in the center. So that will brings everything in the center. All right, so then what I have to do is I have to maintain this header everything in a same row. So class, I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm just going to say width, take the complete width, whatever the width available, take it completely, and padding px, let's say 12, and py, let's say 4. Save the changes. So that will brings it a little bit inside over here. You can see that. And let's say top and bottom, I'm just going to increase it a little bit, py 6, and I'm just going to say flex item center and justify the space between them. So that will push it like this. But still you can see there is a problem over here. What we need to do is, so we have to fix this issue, but the navigation, it's not supposed to be like that. So let me bring our toggle menu this side. All right, header, it's fine, logo is there, navigation is there. Okay, it's pushing that one beyond our screen, so that's fine. Close this. Now what we need to do is right over here, all I need to do is to For the time being, I'm just keeping it as a hidden itself, because let's finish the customizations for our, I'll just, for the time being, I'm just keeping this mobile menu as a hidden itself. Width full. Why it's pushing the entire stuff? Flex item center. I don't know why it's pushing the entire body tag outside. That's quite confusing. Inspect the elements. Layout. Let's go to the computer. Computed. Maybe because of this expanded padding itself, I think that's the reason. So here I'll just give 6, and here I'll just give 3. Save the changes. Still it's pushing outside. Why? That's not even supposed to happen. Body tag, we already added these styles for this. Margin, everything is 0. Width, problem is with the width, the style which I returned inside. That's the problem. That's the one which is causing the issue. Over here, width is going to be viewport width VW, and now look at that, we can see that. My bad, a single mistake. All right, so now it's fine, it's looking good. So then what I need to do is over here, and let me go here. So then I'll just need to write some styles for this. So I'm just going to say text 3XL and the text gray 50 and save the changes. Okay, so refresh it and you can see that menu option over there. All right, so that's looking good now. And if you feel to increase it a little bit also, you can increase it, that's fine, but I'm just going to keep it as it is. Then I'm just going to bring this mobile device now. So I'm going to say flex, and for medium device it's going to be hidden. Save the changes. Now you can see that menu bar over here, and I don't need this list styles and everything. So let's go back to the input, and here I'm just going to say for anchor tag text decoration is going to be none. That will remove the underline for your anchor tag. And for li tag, I'm just going to say list style as a none. So I don't want that style, so that will remove that dot options and everything. So okay, cool. So then what I need to do is I need to bring this menu. Whenever I'm clicking this menu needs to be pop up from the right side. All right, that's need to pop from the right side. So to do that, what I have to do is all I have to do, go here to the input dot so here this navigation, I'm just going to say, let me enable the word wrap. Okay, so here this width is going to use the 1/2 length. That means the 50% of the screen size. Okay, width 1/2. It's going to use the width 1/2. So then height, of course, it's going to take the full height. Okay, and of course I'm going to make this as a fixed position. So fixed, and right side 0, top 0. Save the changes. All right, then I'm just going to say background for the time being, I'm just going to say BG red color so that you can see that color changes. Look at that. This is the color changes which is so far, but we are not going to use this color, and I'm going to use my customized color. If in case if you want to use your own colors or color patterns or something, all you have to do, expand this extend tab and search for colors object, open it and type create a new object for you. For let's say this is the primary background, so primary underscore BG colon, type it inside here in the double quotes, RGBA 255 255 255, which is white color, and 0.4 is opacity level. And go back to the input, and here I'm just going to use it BG primary BG. You can see that color over here. Save the changes. I think I need to increase the opacity level a little bit here. I'll just keep it as 6. All right, that pretty much done. And still I need to make the background as a blur a little bit. So background blur, backdrop blur medium. Save the changes. So now you can see it's blurred at the back. Okay, then all I have to do is I need to increase the gap between them. So gap, I'm just going to say 24. Save the changes. I think this much of gap is a little bit, it's more than enough. All right, so all I have to do is next I need to bring, when I'm hovering it underneath this, I need to bring a small line or something. So hold your alt key or your options key to create a multi cursor. So place your cursor over here right after your anchor tag, here too, and I'm going to create an empty division in it, empty div, and inside this div I'm just going to say class. Okay, that division is going to have a class of a width I'm going to say, let's say 8 or something, and height I'm going to say 1, and it's going to be rounded MD, and the BG I'm just going to use a pink color or something, that's up to you. So pink 500, and save the changes. So that will gives you, okay, problem is with our height is not fine, hyphen. Now you can see that there is a small pink color line over there. So all I have to do is to go to our li tag now, class li tag. Don't click anywhere. If you're clicking anywhere, again you have to hold your alt or option key and place your multi cursor editor. Okay, so don't click, use your up and down arrow, so that will help you to write the same styles in a multiple places simultaneously. So I'm just going to do is a flex, okay, and item center and justify center. Okay, and the gap between I'm just going to say 2. Save the changes. Okay, and I'm going to change it to the column direction, flex column. So look at that, and the gap is a little bit height, so I'm just going to say gap 1. I think this much of gap between it's more than enough. All right, and only when I'm hover it I need to display that line. So I'm just going to say I'm going to make this li as a complete group. Then initially the width of this division is going to be 0. That means nothing. But by the time whenever I'm doing a group hover, that should be change the width to 8. All right, save the changes, and now you can see when I'm hovering it, it's showing that line changes. All right, so all we have to do is to make it a little bit ease. So add the transition effect, transition all, duration I'm just going to say 300, and ease in out. Save the changes. So now look at that, we have a nice hover effect for our menu option over here. Cool. So at the same time we did for the entire. So let me minimize this medium device so that you will not get confused. All right, so now we are going to write the styles for our anchor tag. Okay, so for the anchor tag, for this anchor tag, hold your options key, options, and here, and here. For the medium device, we write these styles later. So class, I'm just going to say text to Excel, and font, I'm just going to keep it as normal, and text gray, I'm going to say 700. Save the changes. I think that's pretty much enough. All right, that looks good. So then what we have to do is I need to bring a small close option over here. So let's go that, so that I'm going to use this icon where it is X, this one, select it. So that, for that I need to bring inside this navbar. Where is this navbar? Inside this navbar, right after here, I'm going to create one division and paste it. So I'm just going to give a command line. This is the close icon, and this is going to be menu list. Save the changes. Okay, now we can see that icon over here, but that's not supposed to be there. I'm just going to say class, that is going to be absolute position. That means inside the nav, that is going to be absolute. Already this entire nav is in the fixed position, so that will takes the absolute position of its parent element perfectly, so no problem with that. And then I'm just going to say top 8, and from the left I'm going to say 6. Save the changes. So that will be at the top and left corner. And the width I'm going to say 8, height I'm going to say 8, and rounded it completely as a perfect circle. And BG I'm just going to give it as a gray 500, like this. I need to bring it in the perfect center, so of course we need to use flex item center and justify it in the center position. Save the changes. That will keeps it in the center position. Then we can target this icon, and I can say text LG and text white color. Save the changes. Look at that. So when I'm hovering this division, I'm just going to say cursor pointer. On hover, I'm just going to say BG gray, little bit darker gray, and I'm going to say on hover I need a shadow effect, so I'm just going to bring a shadow medium. Save the changes. So that will brings this nice color transitions, and along with it will has the shadow effects too. Okay, so all I have to do is to, when I click this, it's need to close. When I click that toggle option over here, that needs to bring this from the right side. All right, so what I'm going to do over here is, so here I'm just going to say minus 200%. Okay, so save the changes. So now it's outside the area. Okay, you can't see it, it's completely outside of our margin. But when you're making it to 0, that will again comes inside. Okay, so let's add some transitions. So transition all, duration 300, ease in out. All right, so, and of course we need to do one more thing. We need to change our body overflow effect. So right after here I'm going to say overflow X. That means only in the left and right I need to change the overflow as an hidden. Okay, otherwise you will see a scroll bar right over here. Cool. So here I'm just going to say this. So this, why we are opening a square bracket over here is to write our customized CSS class over here. So write minus 200%, it's not there. So I'm just going to minus 200% to push it completely outside of our margin. Okay, so save the changes. Now you can see it's pushed it completely right side, so you can't even see it where it is, and even you can't scroll left and right. All I have to do is when I click this, this needs to bring that icon inside. When I that menu inside, when I click that close, it's need to push out. Okay, so for that reason you need to create a JavaScript file. So right click your JS file and create main.js, and you have to import this main.js in your HTML file. So scroll down, and right after this header, that means at the last line of your body tag, I'm going to bring that script tag inside. Script class name, oops, not needed, class source dot slash js main.js. So now our main.js file is successfully loaded inside. Then what I need to do is I need to target 3 different elements. One is this toggle icon, 2 our navigation menu, and 3 is our this ID. we need to target this ID. Okay, so we need to target this, not that one. We need to target this close icon. So I'm going to target each and every element by using their ID name. You can use their class name or the HTML tag name itself, but the problem over here is we do have two different navigation menu. See, nav and nav. So to target it more specifically, you need to use the ID. So I'm just going to create an ID for it, and I'm going to say mobile underscore nav, mobile nav. So for this, I'm just going to say ID close button, close button. And for this toggle icon over here, this is the toggle. All right, so I need to wrap this into a division, so better keep it is inside a division. So div, paste it, and class this, not class, ID. I'm just going to say toggle menu, toggle menu. So these are all the ID we have to target. So let's go ahead, let's bring the mobile nav inside, copy this ID, and here I'm just going to say const mobile nav equals from the HTML document get the element by ID using this, get the element by ID in the name called mobile nav. So that will bring that ID inside. Then we need to bring the next element, that is our close button. Copy this, I'm going to target that. So const close button equals document dot get element by ID and target that specific ID. All right, fine. Then what you have to do is you have to target that toggle menu, copy this toggle menu, and here const toggle menu is equals document dot get element by ID, that toggle menu. All right, so whenever I'm clicking that toggle menu, so that needs to trigger an action. So what I'm going to do is for the toggle menu, I'm going to add an event listener. In that event listener is going to monitor the click event. Whenever I'm calling a click event, it's need to call a callback function, and this is the syntax for arrow6 function. Okay, arrow6 function. And here inside, I'm just, for the time being, I'm just going to say console.log. I'm going to say hi. So now let's go to the console, open the console, and now whenever I'm clicking this, you can see it's triggering that function, and hi, it's constantly getting printed over here. All right, so the function is working perfectly, but instead of console logging it, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to target our navigation menu. So we need to bring the mobile nav inside. Whenever I click that, I need to remove this. Where is that? Where it is? I need to remove this specific class. I need to remove this class. So copy that mobile from the that navigation class list. I'm going to remove that class, remove this class, then I'll copy it and paste it, and right after that add this specific class, right 0. All right, basically we are removing this and we are making right as a 0. Now when I click this, see, it's coming inside just like that. When I click this, I need to push it outside. So I'm just going to copy this one more time, paste it, save the changes, and instead of toggle menu, this is going to be close button. Instead of I need to swap these two classes. So here I'm going to add this time whenever I'm clicking the close button, I need to add this and I need to remove this. So let's keep it in this order. Okay, so when I click close button, I'm removing the right 0 and I'm adding the right minus 200%. So let's check it out. So click it, it's bringing it inside. When I click this, it's pushing outside. Look at that. It's cool, right? So just like the same way, all we have to do is whenever you are, so for instance, let's say if I click this, that's need to change. I need to do the same stuff for here also. So I need to target inside this mobile nav. I do have multiple li tags. So let's say const all li equals document. Li is the HTML tag. So you need to use the query selector. So if you're targeting a very single tag inside your document, you need to use the query selector. If you're targeting a bunch of, that means a group of tags, then you need to use query selector all. Okay, we are going to target every single li tag inside it, where inside our mobile menu, this one, mobile nav, inside. So no, okay, here, not document. We already selected our mobile navigation. From our mobile navigation, select all the li tags. Okay, so let's console.log it. Let's see what's happening. Console.log and all li. Save the changes. And if I go here to the console, you can see it's have a multiple node list. Inside that node list, see, home menu, products, services, it's targeting, it's we selected our all the li tags which is necessarily needed. All right, so let me delete this console log, and I'm going to do the same stuff, but this time all li dot map, either you can use map or for each, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the for each for each li inside it. Okay, I'm going to add li dot add event listener. I'm going to add an event listener, and that is going to be a click event, and I'm going to call a callback function. All right, so basically this is a group of list. Inside this object list, I'm going to target every single li. This is it's not a compulsory naming convention. Use a proper naming convention so that will not confuse you. That's the reason I used it as an li over there. So for each and every li tag, we are adding an event listener, and that event listener is going to be a click event. Whenever you're clicking it, all I have to do is to do the same stuff what I did for close button. Save the changes. Right, look at that. So if you're feeling like repeating the same line of code again and again, it's better to keep them as a separate function, and you can call them instead of repeating the same line of code. So save the changes, and now if I click this, it's popping in. When I click this, it's moving out. So even that will be moved to that, it will activate that menu and it will push it out. All right, so our menu part is successfully done, and all I have to do is to fix this menu just like the same way. I need to do it for our mobile screen also, sorry, our desktop screen also. So let me bring it, this one, to the bottom. Now you can see we have this is for our desktop screen. When I reduce it, look at that, it's reduced perfectly. And when I click that, it's bringing it, everything is inside. And if I'm expanding it, you can see the medium device. This is the tablet screen. From the tablet screen, all I have to, how it's supposed to be looks like. So now our mobile navigation is done. So let me minimize the mobile navigation and expand this. All right, so now what I need to do is I need to hide this. So for this division, so class name, that toggle menu is not supposed to be displayed for our mobile menu, for our medium devices. So initially that is going to be blocked. That means it's going to be displayed. Okay, and from the medium device, when it's a medium device is starting, it should be hidden. So save the changes, so that will be removed from that. All right, so I need to increase the padding also. So let's go to our header right after here. So from the medium device, px it's going to be 12, and py, that means top and bottom, it's going to be 4. Save the changes. I think that's pretty much enough. If you feel to increase it a little bit more also, that's fine. I'm just going to keep it as a 24, and I'm just going to keep it as a 12. Save the changes. All right, that's fine. So let's go here, and medium device, this is the medium device navigation, and it's not going to be a flex column, so remove it. So that is going to looks like that. All right, I think 24 is too much, so that I can say 16, and I can say 8. Fine. Refresh it. All right, I think this is pretty much fine. So then what I have to do is I'm going to arrange everything in the item center, and gap between it's going to be 6. Save the changes. I think that's needed a little bit more, so 12. I think 12 is more than enough. All right, so let's target every single anchor tag inside it. Hold your option key or alt key, then click and to create a multi-cursor editor. Type class. I'm going to say text LG, and then font. Sorry, not font. Text gray. Save the changes. Save it, and that's, look at that. That's pretty much good. Now all I have to do is to, because see, the problem is this hero image, it should not take the full screen image, so I need to customize it. When it comes to the medium devices, this needs to take the half of the screen. So what I need to do is, let's go here and here. That's logo. Where is the hero? Here it is. So instead of full screen, just for the medium screen, I'm just going to say width 1/2. That means basically we are making a take the 50% width of the screen. Save the, right click, and now we can see it's taking the half of the screen. All right. So instead of 1/2, maybe we can say 60%. Where it is, if you scroll down, you can see 33. Here I'm going to say 66%, 2/3. Refresh it. I think this is more than enough, 66%. All right. If you're feeling that is also, I'm not feeling comfortable with that, so I'm just going to say 55%. I'm going to use my own custom styles over there. I think this is good now. All right. So when it comes to big screen, it looks like this. When it comes to, oops, when it comes to the medium device, it looks like this. And the same way, come on, when it comes to the mobile screen, it looks like this. Okay, so we are good now. So let's keep it in the mobile view again one more time, and let's bring some content inside here. We need to bring some content. Let's hide this navigation menu. We are done with that, and right after here, and this is going to be the home section. And all I have to do is to create a section tag, and I'm going to ID it as home. All right, so class name, and this, oops, not here, class name, and this should use the width completely. Okay, and padding, what I'm going to use is padding. I'm just going to use the exact same padding which I returned for our header tag. It's going to same, so I'm just going to copy it and paste it here. All right, and I'm going to say flex item center, and flex direction is going to be column, and justify everything in the center. And inside here, I'm just going to say I'm going to have one paragraph tag, and here I'm going to say what we can do. We can say like feel your beats studio. Save the changes. So now you can see that content over here, and in some cases you might not able to see this. So if you can't see this, push it again, so keep it z index 10. It's better if you only if you can't able to see. All right, so for that I'll just keep it as it is. And right after here, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to wrap this beats into a span tag, and wrap this studio also into a span tag. Save the changes. Oops. Save changes. All right. So for this paragraph tag, I'm just going to say text 6 Excel. Text 6 Excel font extra bold, not semi bold, font extra bold, and text gray. We can say it as 300. Refresh it, and that looks like this. I think gray it's not suitable. Let's make it 700. Nope. 900. All right, that's better now. Okay, so then what we have to do is right after here, I'm going to say for the span tag that should comes in a separate line. So span, hold your option key over here and here. I'm just going to say block. Save changes. So now that will comes in a different line now. Okay, so that's pretty much good. All I have to do is I'm going to make the studio a little bit bigger. So I'm just going to say text 8 Excel. So that will a little bit bigger when compared to this remaining thing. But I don't want to display this color over here. I'm just going to say a different background color for it. That means a gradient background color. So all I have to do is I'm just going to say background clip. So clip text. So BG clip text. So because we are going to apply a background color for this text. So let's see here. So I'm just going to say BG gradient to the right side from left to right, BG gradient. So from let's say purple 500 to pink 500. See the changes. It looks like this. Okay, so instead of keeping it as a background, I'm just going to clip that color to our text. So BG clip to text. That looks like this, but it's not the text is not taking that color. So that's because we need to change the text to a transparent color. Now look at that. All right, so you can just change this, you can play around with these colors, and that will gives you the nice look and feel over there. So I'm going to keep the pink over here. I'm going to keep the purple over here. Say the changes, and now you can see that color, well, the gradient color over there. All right, so then all I have to do is to bring a nice button. So let's see, right after this paragraph tag, I'm going to bring an anchor tag, and I'm going to say learn more. Sorry, not learn more, read more. I'm going to say class. For this, I'm just going to say px 6 py3 rounded md and bg blue 400 or something. Save the changes, refresh it, and look at that. That's fine. And text lg font semi bold and tracking wide. That means the letter spacing. So letter spacing is going to be a little bit wider now, and text is color is going to be gray 100. So look at that, like this. I think font semi bold is not necessary. Remove it. Save the changes. Okay, fine. And but it doesn't have a gap in between it. So what we can do is I can increase the gap over here where it is over here. So gap, I can say 6. Save changes. So now it will give a little bit gap for us. All right. So then all I have to do is to bring an icon. So let me search for chevron. I can click this icon and copy it, and I can bring it over here. So div, bring it. Save the changes. And this should be always in the center of the screen. So class, I'm just going to say width as a full. you should take the full width at every single time and flex it and item center and justify it in the center. All right, and margin top, I'm just going to say 40. Refresh it. Now you can see it is over here. And let's increase the size of it. So text 6XL. Oh, that's too big. 4XL. I think that's fine. Text gray 100 and save the changes. I think that's not looking good. 900. All right, so we need to add a pulse effect for it. So let's say animate. So Tailwind CSS provides you different animation stuff. If you go to their documentation and it is Tailwind CSS, and if you search for animation, that will provide you a different animation stuffs over here, just like this. This is the spin animation, and this is the pulse ping animation, and even you have the pulse effect over here, and this is the bounce effect. This is the animation we are going to use, animate bounce. So let's go there and type animate bounce, save the changes. Now look at that, it's animating. Cool, right? And if you expanding this to a big screen, let's see how it looks in the mobiles. This is the mobile screen, and in the big screen, that means in the, yeah, so this is not supposed to be displayed over here. It needs to come to the left side of our margin. So all I have to do is, let me close this. All I have to do is to bring this in the left side of the screen. To do that, what we can do is over here. That means once it reaches the medium device here, once it reaches the medium device, I can say item start, keep it in the left side of the screen. Look at that. But still it will be in the center. It's because our division, it's in the complete width, we are aligned it in the center position. So that's all we needed. All right, fine. So that's perfectly done. So all I have to do is to, next what I need to do is I need to bring instead of keeping this image as a full screen, what I can do is the hero image, instead of this as a full screen, I can give a certain pixels level. Let's say 640 pixels. Save the changes. All right, so 640 pixels, and all right, this is how it looks. So instead of 640 pixels, maybe we can say 700. I think 700 is perfect. All right, so if you bring it inside, it will looks like this. If you expand it, it looks like this. Cool. So that's pretty good. Let's keep it as 620 pixels. Fine. All right, so that's looking good. I think that's pretty much enough. I think so. Otherwise 600. Okay, so so this is normally for normally height is going to be 680 pixels, but from the medium device onwards, it's going to be that. So this is in the mobile screen, and this is in the medium screen. That's pretty much enough, I think so. And yeah, that's pretty much enough. So next what I need to do is I need to bring the next division. So let's bring the next division over here. All I have to do is to create a next section. So class name, and margin top and bottom, I'm just going to say 12, and then width is going to be full, and BG I'm just going to say gray 300, and PX it's going to be 12, PY it's going to be 6. Save the changes. So that looks like this. And inside here, I'm just going to make the height. I'm just going to make it as 30 to 128 pixels like this. And here I'm just going to say flux item everything in the center and justify everything in the center. And here I'm going to bring an or what we can do, I'm going to bring one division, and I'm going to keep inside that division, I'm going to keep the email subscription, like type your email and subscribe now or something, learn more or something like that. So to do that, all I have to do is to so division class name, and let's say width, whatever the screen size, it doesn't matter. That means initially it's going to take the full width, and px, so p4, padding all the corners 4, and rounded empty, bg gray 100, and the shadow empty. Say the changes. It looks like this. All right, then enter. Here inside here, I'm going to bring one input tag that is going to be a text, and placeholder here your email, and right after here I'm going to bring one button that is button, let's say subscribe, like this. All right, so all we have to do is to make this flex item center, justify center, so that will keep everything in the center. And this input tag is going to be class. I'm just going to say take the width completely, width full. All right, and width full. Width, take it the width complete width. Not it's going to take the complete width. We can say as width as 40, or 40 is too small, I think so. Refresh it. Yeah, 40 is too small. 80. Yeah, I think 80 it's pretty much enough. And p4, padding 4. All right, say the changes. Oops, padding 4 is too much. px4, py 2. Say the changes. I think that's pretty much enough. And rounded empty. All right, that's good. And text Excel, and text gray 700 or 600, 700. Fine. And the gap, we need to increase the gap between it. So let's say gap 4. Save the changes. So now you do have some gap between it, and let's add some for this. So class px2 py1 rounded empty bg blue 400. Save the changes. It looks like this. All right, and text gray, and the text base. Save the changes. It looks like that. All right, so when I'm hovering it, on hover I'm just going to say bg blue to 600, and on hover I'm just going to say add some shadow effect. Shadow empty, cursor pointer. Save the changes. So it looks like this. All right, that's looking pretty much good. And if you want to add some transitions also, you can add some transitions, duration 3 seconds, and transition it's going to all and ease in out. save the changes. So that looks like this. Perfect. Now I need to bring this at the top of it. So what I have to do is I'm just going to say this minus margin top. It's going to be 12. Still it's need to be moved top. So let's say 24. And let's say 32 something. I think that's pretty much more than enough. Shadow, instead of LMD, we can give LG. Otherwise, we can give drop shadow. It's not showing. Okay, so that's looking good now. So then right after this section, what I have to do is this looks perfectly fine in the mobile screen also. So in the mobile screen, this is how it looks. That's perfect. Okay, but I need to reduce the section height a little bit in the mobile screen. So this is going to be on medium devices, but normally its height is going to be 24. All right, so it looks like this. I need to bring it a little bit down. Minus MT 24, and this is in the medium devices. Okay, this is looking good now. Fine. So when I'm expanding it in the medium devices and in the small devices, this looks like this. All right, so then all I have to do is scroll down. So all I have to bring this section tab. So right after here, let me minimize this section. So we are going to make a grid. Inside that grid, we are going to keep on the left side, I'm going to keep on image, and in the right side, I'm going to keep on some content. Okay, so I'm just going to say section, and I'm just going to copy the exact same style what we returned for the section. So width is going to be, I'm going to copy from here, copy it, and I'm going to paste it here. Oops, class name like this. All right, so let's go ahead and let's see what we can do here. So we can search for grid. So here, if you search for grid, it will help you to how to place the grid and all those things. So okay, so what we can do is, and is that option is available to grid reverse Tailwind CSS grid order. Let's see, order. So order, let's see. So what we can do is, I'm just going to say, instead of flex this time, I'm just going to say grid. Okay, and the grid columns, it's going to be two different column, and row, I'm not going to break it as a row, I'm going to keep it as a single row itself. Okay, so div, I'm going to keep two divisions, one, and of course I'm going to say division 2. Save the changes. Now you can see this is the division 1 and this is the division 2. And of course, when it comes to mobile screen, we have to break that into a single division. So when this is going to be basically single column, but from the medium screen, it's going to be grid column 2. So now it's a single column, and when it comes to medium screen, that will automatically shuffled up into two different columns. Right, so let's see. So first one is going to be, I'm going to keep an division, and inside this division I'm going to keep an image. What we can do is, I'm just going to create a division. So wait a second, I'm going to bring one more division here. So class flex item center, and justify everything in the center. I'm just going to create one more division inside here, and this division should always use the width, so full width. Okay, then here I'm just going to say class name, width, normally full, normally it should take the full width. Okay, let's write first for our mobile screen. right? So width it's going to be full, and padding it's going to be 4, and BG I'm just going to say what color we can use for first. What is this? It's a pink, so I'm just going to say BG pink 300 rounded empty. Save the changes. It looks like this. All right, and inside here I'm going to bring that image flex, item center, justified center, and here I'm going to bring that image. So dot slash image beats 1. I'm going to say class width, I'm going to say 80. So that will bring this image over there. When you expand it, it looks like this. And exactly the same in the right side. After this division, I'm going to create one more division, and I'm going to say a paragraph tag, and that is going to be something over here, or we can say Beats Bass Pro Wireless or something, who knows. All right, so here I'm just going to give a title, class name, text to Excel, and text gray color as a 700, and font semi bold. Save the changes. It looks like this. And of course this is also needs some padding, so I'm just going to say class name p4. Okay, and everything is going to be flex column, an item in the starting, and justify in the starting position. All right, so save the changes. That looks like this. And right after this, I'm just going to give one more paragraph, and I'm going to say lorem ipsum. Save the changes. That looks like this. And I'm going to say class text LG, font text LG, that's fine, and text gray color 500, and tracking wider. Save the changes. This looks like this, and everything should be aligned text justify like that. And I'll copy this a few more, and I'll paste it a few more, not this much, like this. All right, that's looking pretty much good, and we need to increase the gap between it, so get say gap 3, so that will gives you some gap. So all I have to do is to repeat the same stuff. So let's say after this section, I'm just going to say my, I'm just going to say 6 margin top and bottom, because we need some space in the top and bottom. So copy this division, copy and paste it over here. Save the changes, and that will brings one more here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to order this division. So order 2 or something. Look at that, it's changed. Okay, so just like the same way, I'm just going to change this image now. This is going to be 2, and I'm going to change the color also, yellow. Maybe we can use yellow 50. I think that's fine. And I think we need to add some shadow effect for it. So let's say shadow medium. I think that's pretty good. Fine, shadow LG, good. And let's add some shadow for this also, shadow LG. Save the changes. Fine. Then let's go ahead and copy this section one more time. Copy it, paste it, and this is going to be the same order. I'm just going to remove it, and let me paste it one more time. Save the changes. Look at that. So it's perfect now. This is going to be 3. This is going to be 4. Save the changes. Cool. So now for this 3, the background color is going to be red. 300 like this. And for this, I'm just going to say blue 300 like this. All right, guys. So we are pretty, it's looking pretty already. Look at that in the mobile screen. This is how it looks. Perfect, right? And in the big screen, this is how it looks. That's looking awesome. So all I have to do is to create a footer, and I'm going to say class that is going to be with full and flex item center, justifying the center, and height I'm going to say 32, and BG I'm going to say gray 700 like this. And inside this, I'm going to bring the some social media icons here. I'm going to say icons. Let's bring some social media icons over here. So okay, so Facebook, select this, select it, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Instagram, Twitter, and of course Snapchat. Save the changes. So now we do have all the icons over there, and all I have to do is to change these things. So here, hold your options key or alt key, create a multi-cursor editor at the end carefully. Here, 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 and here. Space. Text 3 Excel. Text gray 50. Save the changes. It looks like this. And on hover, I'm just going to say scale on 10, transition all, duration 300, ease in out, and I need to increase the gap. So gap, I'm just going to say 6 like this. All right, so that's looking pretty fine now. So we successfully created our design over here.